Hey there, YouTubers. Brady here. It's time for Good Packer Nation morning, and it's Wednesday, and Packer football is finally practically back. So if you can get through tomorrow, you got some football to watch. After that, it's going to be the weekend, and then it's going to be Packer football back. I know we got to wait till Sunday night. That kind of sucks, but it's coming. Big game, matchup against the Giants. We're going to talk about it today on Good Packer Nation morning. Check it out. Good Packer Nation morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and Wednesday with some Thursday football, and finally the Packers coming back to play a game, big-time game, Sunday night against the, Bren just bringing me my coffee. Big-time game against the Giants, where hopefully Aaron Rodgers can get the monkey off his back in terms of winning games, night games. You got your trophy? Yeah, get on. Let me know who you are, where you're coming at me from. And while you're doing that, I want to introduce Bench because he's here. They're on fall break. And so he's here. This is not the trophy for this is not the soccer trophy. This is something I wanted to show you guys. Benj, the weekend of the championship, he did a parkour course, and then the next day ran a half marathon. That's where this comes from. It's backwards, but it says I'm only half crazy because it's 13.1 miles. And then he had a break, 1 day break. Monday didn't play a game, and Tuesday won the championship. So if you wouldn't mind, Benj is here. Just jump on and give him a congratulations or hit that little heart button. City champion in soccer. Trent is here. There's my cousin Trent. I don't know if you remember him. Mark is here. Good morning. Michelle, Jordan, hi. All right, everybody, give a little heart for Benj. There's one. We got him coming across the page. He's on fall break, so I told him I wanted to get him on the show real quick, but we'll let you go because Benj has probably now on the docket because it's fall break and he woke up late, probably going to go and have a healthy, athlete-sustaining bowl of Cocoa Pebbles, right, or something like that here pretty soon. Okay, well, say hi to everybody.
Everybody.
And say go, Pack, go.
Go, Pack, go.
All right. All right, guys. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Thanks for bringing me my coffee, too. Ross is here. He says congrats as well, Benj. Lots of congrats coming across for Benj. I'm proud of him. I haven't seen him. This is the first I saw him last night since the game. So we watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and ate some ice cream and slept a little bit later today. All right, guys, it's Wednesday, and finally the bye week really feels like it's over. I feel like Wednesday because tonight there's football again, where like last week, the Thursday night game, it was the Dolphins against the Bengals anyway. But then it didn't have that feel that we were going to be going into Packer football. I feel like I'm breaking up now here. I'm going to pause for a second. Everything looked good getting on. We'll see. But yeah, now this Wednesday is coming back. Browen says good morning. Johnny is here. Shout out, please. There you go, Johnny. Shout out to Johnny. Michelle, Jeff, hi there. But yeah, Packers playing the Giants Sunday night. The Giants have, the loss to the Vikings Monday night, have to come back on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sean's saying it's breaking up. I think it's smoothed out a little bit. I don't know why I'm having any issues because I tested earlier and I checked the speed and everything was fine. So at any rate, we'll do the best we can. It looks a little better now. But yeah, so what do we got to do to beat these Giants? The one thing I can tell you, I really don't feel like I'm not afraid of the Giants running game, as it matches up with our run defense. We're getting some guys back healthy. But I do worry a little bit about the Giants running backs coming out of the backfield. They tended to want to get the ball out of Eli Manning's hands fast. Most of the passes that he was making were 10 yards or less. And also, they had great success throwing to the backs out of the backfield. This is a game that the Giants could have been in, neither team having sacks. There's a couple things, a couple news items I almost forgot. One, Ross has posted a brilliant piece. It's like a little video, just a little screen capture, breaking down an inside zone play by Eddie Lacy. He uses the GIF from Packers.com. You can see it. You can either go to the Facebook fan page and pick up the web link there, or you can go to GreenBayPackerNation.com. It'll be the second link. It'll be the second post down on the page, but you want to check that out and share it with your friends. It was a really great post. And Ross, I truly thank you for doing that. I love hearing your perspective on this. Ross is a assistant coach up in Dubuque, and so he really knows his stuff, and you can tell. Plus, you know, he's good on camera, and he's good with these technical things, so that always helps a great deal. I really appreciate that. And you get a chance to see, there's a couple pictures of his guys out on the field, and that's always nice. Picture of Ross, good to kind of put a face with the names. So that's an opportunity for you guys I hope you will take advantage of. Also, on Packers.com today, they are starting a hashtag Packers versus Cancer for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I just wanted to encourage everybody. I happened to catch it this morning. And what you can do is, ladies, you can go on there and you can actually look for the post. It's in their little rotator. And there's a place where you can download a card as a survivor, and you can take a picture of yourself, and then you can upload it right to the site. And so that's a way for us to sort of, the Packers organization is showing support for everyone who is affected by breast cancer. And so I hope all of you will go to Packers.com, and you just look for that post on the rotator. When you click on it, it'll have a place for you to download a card, and you can print that off, take your photo with it, and then upload it to the site. So that's a really nice thing that they're doing, and I definitely wanted to send that on to all the Packer ladies out there, because I know there are some out there who have been affected by breast cancer, and we want to support you in every way we can. So, okay, well, in the news today, of course, the big thing that we're looking at is Jeff Janis. All right, Jeff Janis has been cleared to play without protection. So Jared's here. G'day there, Jared. How you doing? Jeff Janis has been cleared to play without any type of protection, and that's a big step for him. Look for our special teams coverage units to improve. Janis has been able to play. I think he's played 38 snaps already on special teams, but doing it with the club has been, that's definitely going to hinder him, and I'm looking for him to really make a difference in our special teams this upcoming game against the Giants. Right away, I expect to see. The guy was a killer last year, and it can make a big difference. Remember, one of the bugaboos of this team so far, and again, we've been successful to the tune of 3-1. One of the bugaboos, though, has been field position, and with Jeff Janis coming back, we could see an improvement immediately in field position. I'm missing a lot of the shout-outs. Charlene and Jackie, Hector and Sherry. I'll try to do some more as we go along. And it looks like the feed is smoothing out a little bit, so everything looks good from my side. Hopefully it's clearing up from yours as well. But yeah, great to have Jeff Janis back. And I do look for a possible bump in field position, which again is one of the things we've had a little bit of a struggle with. So good to see that. Also, Joe Carriage, the Packers signed fullback Joe Carriage to the practice squad. Now, this is interesting to me because Peter is starting hashtag Unleash Janis. Yeah, let's let her unleash the hounds. I'm interested in this Carriage signing because it looks to me like it's just insurance. But again, what have we heard? Where's Aaron Ripkowski at? He has back injury, which, think back. What are the names you think about with back injuries, and neck injuries? We've got a slew of them, and people that have literally lost their jobs because of one injury. And Aaron Ripkowski, one of the reasons I think that they made this Carriage signing is partly because Mike McCarthy talked about how much success they were having with that 22 personnel, with the two tailbacks and the two tight ends, and they were really liking that. I loved that personnel set, especially for December at Lambeau, and it is going to be very interesting to me to see if we can get any more information about how serious this back injury is to Aaron Ripkowski. Look at, obviously we have the storyline this year is Tony Romo, of course, and this is, I feel terrible. I feel terrible for everybody from top to bottom. I feel terrible if Ripkowski, if this is serious, then you've got GM Ted Thompson. He's going to come under fire because he let, Kuhn go, and Kuhn scored 3 touchdowns for the Saints this week. And then you've got the coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, looking at an offense that was clicking, and then looking at that 22 personnel group that was really a potent. The thing about the 22 personnel is it's potent. It's a good. You've got some big bodies in there. It's a good run out the clock possession type of a set, a personnel group. You got your fullback in. You got Eddie Lacy. You got 2 tight ends in this grouping. It's very symmetrical, which means it spreads defenses out. It requires them to be symmetrical as well. And Mike McCarthy, I feel bad for him. Now he's looking at possibly a personnel grouping that he just has to take off the table. He had to do the 12 personnel for the entire second half. Part of the reason that we didn't have as much success. Then, of course, you feel bad for Ripkowski himself. And let's do a heart right now. Let's do a heart for Aaron Ripkowski as best wishes. We hope that this is not serious. We hope that you can rest up with the bye week. And maybe you need a week or two. We know probably Cook is going to need a couple more weeks and come on back strong. Let's everybody heart Aaron Ripkowski right now because I'm concerned, to be quite honest. And partly, you always get more concerned when you don't hear anything. And we look a lot of love out there in Packer Nation for Aaron Ripkowski right now. And the kids, young kid, just coming on strong. Want to see him be able to get out on the field. Okay. One thing I almost forgot. I did want to mention. I've got a red shirt on again, so I put my gray jacket over it so it wouldn't. But it says, "Keep calm and read on." It's going to be mirrored in your screen because I'm using my front-facing camera. But this is a gift for me. Keep calm and read on. I like that from Emily from long ago. So shout out to Emily going back to school. You're going to do great. I'm sure everybody's going to love you there. But yeah, good friend from back in Wisconsin, long ago, childhood friend. So I just wanted to bring that on. Shane is mentioning secondary. Okay. And I'm not sure. I might go off topic with this a little bit, but that's a great point, Shane. Here's the deal, okay? The worst case scenario for me in this upcoming game against the Giants, all right? And I'm going to take it down a notch right now. Because number one, the Giants have sort of had our number at Lambeau in recent years, right? I'm not going to mention any of the games for fear of, and knock on wood while I don't even mention it. LB is in the house. Good to see you. And Samantha, good to see you. She says hi to everybody. The Giants have kind of had our number. And add to that the fact that here's the deal. This is the thing that's worst case scenario for me. Is that Odell Beckman, and I mentioned this yesterday, I'm going to be calling him Odell Beckman from now on, just out of spite. If he gets going in this game, like if this game turns his season around, I just got this bad feeling that Odell's going to get there, and this is going to be the game that kind of turns him around. That, to me, is the absolute worst case scenario. And look at our defense. Where is the weakness in our defense? Backfield. Now, here is my little glimmer of hope. I'm going to make this comment out there. And guys, you thumbs up if you agree with me on this. I'm talking a little slower because hopefully if it freezes up, you'll still understand me. But I'm taking it down a notch. Give me a thumbs up, all right? I believe this. I thought this over. And I know that they're not going to match this kid with Odell all night long. But I believe that Ladarius Gunter is the man to take Odell Beckman out of this game. All right? Thumbs up. You don't have to thumbs up if you don't agree. But I believe Ladarius Gunter is playing the best ball we have out there. And here's the other thing. I believe he is the only guy we've got that could get in Odell's head. We need the crap we saw in the Vikings game to keep rolling. And like I said yesterday, this is not the defensive backfield that kind of gets in guys' heads because we don't man up that often. We've been manning up a little more recently. But we play this nickel. We play a lot of off coverage. We try to keep things in front of us. This is the Dom Capers defense. But Ladarius Gunter is a bit of a different cat, man. I mean, he is showing he's strong. He's starting to learn his leverages very well. I would love to see Ladarius Gunter take Odell right out of this game. Because I am worried. I'm worried about Odell right now. It's just this sort of karmic thing for me. I've got this bad feeling, all right? And you know he's going to want to come back strong. He made all these excuses about his behavior. And if we don't have the kind of defense that can get in his head, he may have a good game. Remember, we called attention to this yesterday. The Giants should have scored at least 17 points in this game. Eli Manning put up a good ball, split the safeties right down the middle. It's two high safeties. And Odell ran absolutely the wrong route because he sought contact from Xavier Rhodes on that play. He sought contact. It wasn't even legal. He just ran out to hit him. And instead of running his route, if he'd have run his route, he would have scored a touchdown. Instead, Rhodes gets an interception. And this was 100% Odell Beckman's fault. So you look at if something like that clicks and the guy just does what he's supposed to do and stops hurting his team, he could hurt our team at that point. So we've got to watch for that. Here's what I think the Giants are going to do. I think the Giants are going to try once again to get the ball out of Eli Manning's hands fast. They had some success with that, and then take their shot plays, which they also had in this game. Again, 17-24, that's a much different story than what you saw, this 14-point spread. The Vikings or the Giants ran the ball well and because of that, could throw the ball to their running backs out of the backfield, had some success with that. I guess I'll probably do the stats tomorrow. I was going to do those today. I got my window open and you might hear my trash man coming by because it's Wednesday. Time for them to pick up the trash. But yeah, I think the Giants are going to come out and try to do exactly what they did against the Vikings. And here's the reason. If you look down the sacks column for this vaunted Vikings defense, it's a goose egg across the board. The Giants held the Vikings defense to no sacks whatsoever in that game. I am worried. Ryan is not worried about OBJ. I am concerned that the Giants are going to try to get the ball out of Eli's hands fast. They're going to play this underneath game, and then they're going to take their shot plays. This doesn't play well to what our defense has been doing. Hey man, I love the 5 and the 7 step drop because of our defensive line, the pressure. We're getting Clay Matthews back. LaTroy Guion is slated to be back. And Henry's saying they're not going to be able to run against us, which I agree with, and that's why I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not scared of their rushing attack. However, if they can establish a little bit of ground and then throw out of play action, that could be a little bit of a problem for us. But their game plan was get the ball out of Eli Manning's hands, and to some extent it worked. What they're looking at is basically, a wide receiver group that has a lot of potential. Shepard and Victor Cruz and of course you look at the potential Odell has out there on the field. He's got all the potential in the world, but they're just not showing it. They're a little bit decimated at running back, but again, their running backs did just fine. And this may be an indicator that the Vikings defense is kind of on its way down. I honestly, here's my honest take on the Vikings against the Giants game. It made me more concerned about the Vikings than it made me about the Giants because they still are playing at a very high level. The CBS Power Rankings I looked up this morning, of course, has Denver at the top. Then they've got the Vikings number 2 and then the Packers at number 3. I would be hard-pressed to argue with that, but I think we may have an argument after this week of play. I'm hoping that we do. Henry, Shields back, Randall. I don't think Shields is going to be back this game. I hope so, but I don't expect it. Justin is calling a Vikqueen troll alert. You guys know what to do. You take care of business for me. There we go. I think it might be this Felton dude. You just go to town. I got no time. Unless you want, I'll just ban him off of here too. Yeah, let's just do. There we go. We won't be hearing from Felton anymore. I think that was the one. So let me know if I screwed it up and I got the wrong guy. But he said we're mad because our team lost. So what I did is I just shut him down. So it's sometimes fun to do that. But I didn't want to do that to the wrong place. Where is Kenny Clark? Kenny Clark. Hey, by the way, Kenny Clark's birthday was yesterday, so we can all maybe put a heart up for happy birthday. A little belated birthday to Kenny Clark. Young guy, so he just now turned 21, I believe. It's pretty crazy, really. But that's, I don't think he's injured that I know of. I think he's planning to play as far as I know. Hey, thanks, Hector. Yeah. Sometimes I just like to let him roll because I like you guys, if a troll comes on, I like you guys to be able to smack him. It's not hard. You know, you get a Viking fan who gets on here and tries to talk a little smack. They can only talk about one lockdown host. Yeah, thanks. I'm the Ladarius Gunter of hosts right now. We just manned up and shut him down. All right. Thanks, Ross. But sometimes it's fun to just let you guys take them down because it's not difficult when you're a Packer fan to take care of business. Historically, I mean, you know, since about 1919, we've been winning championships. And how many do the Vikings have at this point? Oh, don't answer that. So anyway, well, guys, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I had a bunch of stuff. I did a little, what I did is I went through the box score from the Giants game against the Vikings, and I just sort of red circled a few things that I thought were a concern, and then I put a green circle around stuff that I thought would be a possible opportunity for the Packers. Some of these I've already mentioned. Eli Manning was 24 for 45 for 261 yards in that game. He had the one interception and no touchdowns. Again, this is one of those, he should have at least had the one touchdown, I believe. I think if Odell would have just run the right route, if he'd have just split the safeties, he would have beat him, I believe, on that play. If not, it would have been either a PI or a big-time play down into the red zone. So, and the Giants were pretty good in the red zone. So, I'll tell you what. But the other thing, you know, I think the opportunity that we saw, again, you know, Cruz and then here's what I saw. There's this sort of 43, the best receiving yards that you saw out of the Giants were this 43 to 50 yard. Perkins had 72 yards, but generally speaking, they're throwing the short pass. We've got to be concerned because we want to make sure and not give up the shot plays because I believe that's what they're doing. I think that they're, you know, like I said, getting the ball out of Eli's hands fast, but then they're looking for that shot play, one of which they had against Xavier Rhodes and just, you know, turned it into an interception, unfortunately, in that case. But again, with a guy like Odell, that becomes tape on film to say, hey, listen, this is what happens when you do this. Just run the route. And let's beat these guys with our gameplay. And if he catches on to this could be interesting for us. All right. And that, I also had a green light I had an asterisk by Odell Beckham. But I put in there versus Ladarius Gunter, and I'm very interested to see how many times he gets matched up and whether they two play a little bit, whether they single him up and let Ladarius Gunter go to work. I think he's the one guy on our team. Not that there aren't other guys. You know, I believe in Randall. I still believe in Randall and Rollins. But Gunter seems to me to be the guy that has he has that certain something where he can get in a guy's head. And boy, would that be nice. I would love to see us because I believe that we can respond better than Odell can when things start to go wrong. So, all right. Okay. Now look at Giants' third down efficiency, guys. They were 2 of 12 for 16% on third downs. Now keep in mind, other than the Detroit Lions game where we stumbled a bit, the Packers defense on third downs has been phenomenal. Add to that the fact that we are the defense that has had to have as many fourth down plays as any defense out there. I'm sure of it. You look at, we had 4 of them in the season opener alone. The Vikings were 0 for 2 in fourth downs, so they needed fourth downs too, and were not able to accomplish it. I think that's a big time opportunity for this Packers defense to really have a dominant game, and I think that we're going to be able to do it. So that to me is a huge opportunity for our Packer defense. You headed out there, buddy? Ben just taking the car. He's going to go downtown for a little bit. All right. Now, here's one thing I'm concerned about. The Giants had 3 kickoff returns for a total of 94 yards. This is where the Jeff Janis thing comes in. We've got to keep that under wraps, obviously, because that really hurts our field position. And we've seen that our field position has been an issue for us. Field position and time of possession have kind of been in the news, and you've had to see Coach McCarthy talk about this. I think Jeff Janis being back, let's keep an eye on Jeff Janis, and hopefully Monday we can have maybe a love it or leave it, like field position and Jeff Janis, and just smatter the screen with hearts because Jeff Janis being back and being able to be unprotected and go out there and play at full strength could make a very big difference. You don't want the opposing team to be averaging like almost 31 yards or almost 32 yards a kickoff return. That is not a good sign. And we know Mason Crosby is going to get the job done, and hopefully Janis will follow that up. I think Thomas has done, I'll tell you, Kyler Fackrell has done a good job on special teams as well. Probably should do a post breaking that down. He has had a good game. And we remember, of course, Blake Martinez with the brilliant open field tackle in the Jacksonville Jaguars game. So again, I think the special teams coverage units are hitting their stride a little bit, and this Giants game it's going to be a test, but I think it's a good chance for them to show their stuff. Penalties for the Giants. They had 8 penalties in this game for almost 70 yards, 69 yards in this game. We've talked about the Packers. The Packers are not a penalty-prone team. They have been a little bit undisciplined so far this season. It's not that they have that many penalties, but we have had penalties at the wrong times. So if the Packers can clean that up and we can take advantage of a Giants team that seems to be a bit undisciplined, 8 penalties is way too many. And of course, one was right off the bat, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for Odell Beckham that, again, I call him Odell Beckham for a reason. That's a one-up, and now with the new rule, this is the cat that was the originator of the rule. This is the Beckman rule. And it would be great to call it the Beckman rule. It's perfect because we mispronounce his name because he has no reason going down in history for something like this. But this rule is around. You have one unsportsmanlike conduct, and if it's after the play, your second one is an automatic ejection. And that is where this kid right here is the reason this rule exists. And of course, Josh Norman had, I'm not going to say over and against Josh Norman because Josh Norman was acting like a real, I don't even want to get started with this again. I did mic drop on it yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it today. But at any rate, those penalties, and the team looks like they do have a discipline problem down there. So the Giants' red zone efficiency was only 50%. They were 1 out of 2. They did have that one goal line stand, and again, I believe that their offensive line has shown that it can get a push when it needs to. And you add to that the fact that their offensive line held the Vikings to no sacks in this game. So I think that their offensive line apparently is playing pretty well together. Haven't had a chance to look at it, but anyway, they're playing pretty well. Ryan, I love it. Ryan is saying Odell, a real cuss. Yeah, what the cuss are you doing out there, man? Just play the cussing game, right? So anyway, if we use the term cuss on here, it's our euphemism. So nobody get offended if you jump on and you haven't heard us say it before. We throw it around a lot on this show. But Adam is saying, this is a great point too. I think we need to watch out for Victor Cruz and Sterling Shepard. Yes. My real concern is with the wide receiver core and the balance that they have. And, you've got the spread on those guys was very even across the board. I think Cruz and Shepard maybe had 43 yards apiece, 4 to 6 catches. This doesn't look, if you look at the stats by themselves, it doesn't look that fantastic. But when you think about it, this is exactly the kind of spread that I would love to see Aaron Rodgers. I would love to see Richard Rodgers, and if Jared Cook when he's on the field, and Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson, we're expecting maybe to have that 70 and have those 100-yard gains from time to time. Randall Cobb and Adams out there with a spread like that, and then a good running game. These are games that we would expect to win if we can spread the ball around like that. Remember, my cousin Jeff up in Madison, he mentioned this a while back. And he was like, remember the days when Aaron Rodgers had spread the ball around to 8 or 10 receivers during a game? Everybody was getting involved and how we were just dominant. And that's exactly what we want to see. Now, Justin is making a point. All right, Justin, this is a great one. Justin gets on here with some good stuff. And I'm sorry if I miss. A lot of you guys are making great points. I just catch them as I go. It's totally random. But Justin is saying this, all right? So let's do a thumbs up if you agree on this one for Justin, okay? He's saying Davante Adams is going to have a huge game Sunday night. So what do you think, Packer Nation? Because remember, I said before the Detroit game, I said Davante Adams is going to be a difference maker in this game if he stops his bipolar sort of thing that we're doing. I kind of hate to use the term bipolar maybe because there are people that suffer with this, but you know what I mean, where he's kind of back and forth. He's great one play, and then you're scratching your head the next. My buddy Jeff Hayes agrees. He thinks Davante Adams is going to have a good game. I think Davante Adams is coming on, and I think the Packers know it right now. I think Davante Adams, I think the Detroit game, and you add to that the big catch in the Jacksonville Jaguars game. I think Davante Adams' confidence is growing right now, and that's huge as a wide receiver. We talked there. One of the questions that, and I know people probably on this show had mentioned, if a kid can't catch when he comes out of college, he ain't going to learn it in the NFL. However, the question with Davante Adams was, is it that he can't catch, or is it that he can't concentrate? And when your confidence is shaken and you have trouble concentrating, you may have all the skills in the world, but when you get that confidence back, if you're a kid that can catch, and we know Davante Adams has all the measurables to be great, you get your confidence back and you can be special. And that's where I believe that Davante Adams' arrow is pointing up right now. And you can thumbs up me on that one if you agree, because just think. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Ty Montgomery. I don't want to take anything away from Janis or Abbrederis. I love those guys, but I'm just saying I think Adams' arrow right now is pointing up. Maybe it's not pointing sky high right yet, but I believe he's got his feet under him. He's starting to do some more things right, and he's making catches. Obviously that's the most important thing. So. Bryce says Adams is a red zone threat. Doesn't he have a 42-inch vertical? Yeah, remember, Bryce is making a good point. Remember, Adams is the guy that in the offseason, I think it was the offseason after his rookie year, before all the hype coming on in his second year. And I think that's part of the problem is the expectations were too high, and then we lost Jordy Nelson. I've described last year's offense as a perfect storm. Look at what we did. We gave the play calling up to somebody else for the first time. We lost Jordy Nelson, our number one receiver, for the first time. Our offensive line was decimated for the first time. And Davante Adams comes into his second year as expecting to be, basically a number two guy. And then things fall apart. But he is the guy. Remember the unbelievable, behind the back reverse slam dunk that he put on YouTube or whatever it was. Davante Adams has got all the athletic talent to do this. Adams is saying, thumbs up me. Okay, yeah, thumbs up. All right, we'll give it to you. That's actually kind of cool. You guys can, toot your own horn a little bit if you're right. And if you're wrong, I'll try to give it back at you. But I think Davante Adams has an opportunity to really start becoming a difference maker. And really, I think it's more of him becoming a consistent threat than becoming having a fantastic. If he has a great game against the Giants and then he falters next, I'm still going to be on the fence a little bit about him. But if he just stays consistent, if he makes his 4 or 5 plays a game, maybe 2 or 3 of them are maybe he has one shot play a game and he makes it, and then he makes 2 or 3 important plays and then gets a couple of first downs. Man, this guy's going to be a fantastic weapon for Aaron Rodgers. All right, well, guys, I think I'm going to close it up with that. I kind of went through the stuff that I wanted to, and I don't know if you can hear the I need some coffee. I need some Cocoa Pebbles. A big heart from me for Cocoa Pebbles. You got to love chocolate cereal. I'm sorry. It's got to be good for you. It's not, but somebody is asking. And I got to warm up the Precious here while I'm at it. So yeah, I'll close the show, folks. If you don't know about it, we do have a new game coming out. Somebody was asking earlier about the date. Date is coming fast because there is a big sort of, for us who sort of bought into the company, a big cutoff coming on the 10th. The game will be released in late October. We don't have a date just yet. There's a lot of stuff because, again, this is what they're doing is they're going to spring this on the world. They want to actually compete with FanDuel and DraftKings right out of the box with this thing. This game is going to be probably top 10 on Google playlist immediately. If you don't know about it, you can play. And there's a couple things. It's not going to necessarily replace fantasy because it's not the same thing. But you're going to play with your team for a change. You don't have to pick players from other teams. You're going to play live with the Packers one-handed during the breaks. You're not going to be interrupted in any way, shape, or form. You don't even have to set down your beer. But It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to get on there. Packer Nation is going to have a very strong league, and this is the prize that we are giving away on GPN. So we call it the Precious. If you want to get in, all you have to do is go to greenbaypackernation.com. The very first post at the top, click the Read More button, and there's a post that'll describe it a little more in depth to you. And there's also a form you can fill out, and I will send you a personal invitation to the game because it is not out. You can't get it anywhere. You will know it before any of your friends. You will play it before a lot of people know it, but a lot of people will know about this game very, very quickly. So Justin is asking if it's Sunday yet. Not quite. My brother, okay, I got to tell you this. My brother messaged me just before the show went on, and he said he was trying to be positive, right? And he said to a coworker, he said, well, we made it to hump day, right? You know, trying to be positive and whatnot. And all the coworker did is say, yeah, Monday, part 3. So it's not. David is being positive out there. I love it. Sunday is coming fast. Tomorrow night, we got football coming back. I think it's the 49ers and the Cardinals this time around, which is a much more interesting game. I am interested in watching I want the Cardinals to collapse. I had said, and I think Jonah was saying the same thing from the beginning of the season, that their magic was, all the pixie dust in the world should not have won them that game against us the way it happened after what we did and how many injuries we had last year. And they certainly laid an egg the next game up. I know we were decimated with injury. I would not have liked our chances against the Panthers necessarily, but we would have put on a better show in the NFC Championship and represented the NFC better than the freaking Arizona Cardinals in that game. And their magic is evaporating quickly, and I hope it continues to do so. I'm no fan of the 49ers, but because they are so far beaten down, I would love to see them beat the Arizona Cardinals. Peter is tired of the Cardinals too. I mean, and of course I was tired of the 49ers for a while there, of course. But yeah, this time around, and the Cardinals are the ones that have, consistently sort of had these weird games. The face mask game in '08 or whatever it was, where each of us scored we scored 90 points in this game, and then they get away with a face mask and a fumble, and the game is over. So it's this sort of bizarro ending that I don't like. So, of course, if it happened in our favor, I'd be all for it. But well, guys, and Peter's mentioning too, the Panthers are another one that you kind of love to see this collapse continue, and we will watch. And so tomorrow night we'll have a game to watch, guys, and then it's Friday, so it's coming fast. I hope you have a great day. Definitely jump on, give yourself a chance to get the ring if you haven't already got on with the new game coming out, and I will be giving you more information about that, I promise. And like I said before, Let's say you're not interested. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot on the show, okay? I'm talking about it a little bit now. We'll commute everything over to a separate fan page. I am going to mention it from time to time because, frankly, I have no other way to, I can't help it. It's totally cool, and it's just going to come out. But, all right, well, you guys have a great day. Brian's saying, yay, can't wait. When does it start? Jerry, I said, I don't know yet because the creators, and again, the creative director, well, he's not called the creative director, it's a little different name, but this is the guy who was the creative director over EA Sports when they were creating Madden, NCAA football, and NASCAR. And FIFA. And so, and FIFA, I believe, yes. So, and frankly, if you have any kids out there that play soccer is coming on board as well. This game is going to offer every sport worldwide by the time all is said and done. It's going to be so cool. So I think it's going to be fun. DM says goodbye to everybody and go Pack Go. See you, buddy. Have a good one. I will let you, Kelsey, all you need to do is go to greenbaypackernation.com, click on the very first post where it says read more. It'll say get in before the app even comes out. And then there's a form for you to fill out that will notify me, and I will personally text you an invitation because it's the only way you can know about this game is through one of us who is, we're sponsoring it basically. So if you want to do that, go for it. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And yes, I am going to give away this ring to somebody. I know I talk like I'm going to keep it because I want to keep it, but the truth is I would never keep this from you guys. One of you will win it. There's absolutely no way we're going to do that. It will come off of my fingers. I'm not going to admit it during the league. I am not going to admit it ever again, but you heard it here. Yes, one of you will win it and have it on your hand. And The winner gets to smack talk me about it as well on the show. We'll post it on the website. So a lot of people excited about it. That's why I keep talking about it, because I can't wait. One of the things I've done, and again, if you're not interested and you're done with the show, you can step off right now. That's fine. It doesn't bother me a bit. But a lot of you that are interested, I have mocked this game up. My son and Jonah and I have mocked it up several times now, and it makes the game so much more exciting. The only thing I don't like about doing it on the whiteboard is I keep saying, I can't wait till the game does this automatically for me. Because what you're doing is you're making the coaching calls that you make all the time. Some of them are just guesswork, like you're going to guess who's going to win the toss. Who's going to win. This is just, who knows. You're just making, but then you're also going to guess, is the next play going to be a run play or a pass play? Is it going to be a short yardage, medium yardage, loss of yardage? This is going to be a blast, guys. So I think Kelsey wants a close-up of me. Hi, right here. Yeah. No, probably the ring, I'm guessing, is what you want a close-up of. It doesn't come into focus real well, but we'll see what we can get out of it here. Right there seems like the light. What it does is it's got a green G. We kind of wish the G was a little darker, but it has a bunch of diamonds on there. Now this looks really good under your light, guys. It sparkles and it is very nice. It's got the year here, 2016. I don't know if you can read that. And it's got GPN on the side. So we could not think of a better way to do this. This was brought to you by Thayer's Jewelers in Mauston, Wisconsin. So if you're in the area and you need wedding rings, bands, watches, anything like that, I highly recommend them. This is a full service store, guys. This is like the old time store where they can make rings there. Okay, they didn't make this one, but they can do anything. And it's my cousin. I'm as full disclosure, but I highly recommend them under any circumstances and as objectively as I can possibly be. They are great people and a lot of fun. So DM says it looks great. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know your time is precious, and I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Go Pack, get the ring.